Namaste children, welcome back to the science class. So children, how are you? I hope all of you are well and fine. So children, today we are going to start the new chapter, that is chapter 6, and it is not less interesting than our previous chapter, that is chapter 5, in which we have learned about the claws and beaks of the bird. In this chapter we are going to learn all about the insects. So let's start to learn about the insects. So children, have you seen insects? Yes, those insects also attracts us a lot because they are also having wings like bird, but comparatively they are very small, their effects are different. For example, when we see a butterfly flying here and there, we become very happy, but when we are affected by a bite of mosquito, that is very painful for us. So that children, it is surprising for us. There are various kind of insects in our surrounding, and the effects and the appearance of different kind of insects are different. So let's study about them. In this chapter we will know about some useful insects also and some harmful insects also. In this chapter we will also come to know about the social insects. So children, first of all I would like to say that how many kind of insects in your life you have seen. So will you please remember about that? Butterfly, very attractive. This is very attractive. Then comes, have you seen wasp? Wasp is here. Then comes the bumblebee, and then comes the mosquito. Here are some examples of some insects which we often see in our day-to-day life. So let's know about the different kinds of insects. Insects are having wings, but they do not have bones in their body. Children, first of all we are going to learn about social insects. What are social insects? So insects like bee, ants and termites live in well organized colonies. Yes, they are also having colonies to live in. So such kind of insects are called social insects. So children, this time we are going to learn first of all about useful insects. In this category, first of all we will learn about the honeybee. Honeybee. Can you tell me the specialty of this insect? Yes, it provides us honey. Honey is sweet in taste and it is used as medicine also, and children love to eat honey. So this honeybee, as the name is written here, this bee provides us honey. So let's know about this honeybee. So this is very interesting fact for us ki how do we collect honey from a honeybee. So let's know about that. Children, honeybees are one of the insects which are very useful for us. So in this useful category, honeybee which provide us honey comes in a useful category of insects. So what is the lifestyle of honeybee? Let's know. They build their hives on a tree. Have you seen beehive? Sometimes we used to see the beehive on a tree. Sometimes it is near the balcony upwards, or however you have seen some honeybees in the old buildings where people do not live. Then the bees used to make their hive there, and in this way they used to start living there. So how do we collect honey from that bee's hive? So let's know about that, children. First of all, look at this picture. This picture is a chamber, a six-sided chamber. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So this is a chamber, and with the help of many chambers, the honeybee makes the bee hive like this. Watch it carefully. So all the chambers are six-sided. You must know this, how these chambers are made by the honeybees. All the chambers are six-sided. Look at the beehive, children. Look at this beehive. Okay. So that this is a beehive made by honeybees. How do they make this, and what does they use to keep in this hive? Children, honeybee used to go to the sweet smelling flowers. So honeybee loves to go near the sweet smelling flower where they collect nectar from them. So the question is, what is nectar? Nectar is a sweet liquid that is produced by sweet smelling flowers. Yes, write down about nectar. What is nectar? Nectar. So it is a sweet liquid produced by flowers. Now is that clear to you? Nectar is a sweet liquid produced by sweet smelling flowers. So the honeybee used to collect nectar from the sweet smelling flower, and then after it carry it to their hive. Then after the honeybees carry the nectar to its bee hive. This is called beehive. This is called beehive, and the beehive is made up of many six-sided chambers. So in this way, the honeybee used to collect nectar from the sweet smelling flowers, and then it used to collect the nectar in its beehive. Now, this chamber is also called combs. Is that clear to you? This chamber is also called combs, combs. Honeybees store the nectar in these combs. The nectar changes into honey after some time. Now, the thing which comes in our mind, how does we collect honey from these hives? Let's know about that. Honey is collected from the beehive, and to collect that honey, people used to fire inside that beehive. Let me draw. So this is a beehive, children, from which we have to collect the honey, and for that people used to fire inside the beehive. They used to fire, and due to the effect of the light of this fire, due to the effect of the light and smoke of this fire, this produce light and smoke, light and smoke, and the effect is due to the light and the smoke, the beehives goes out from this. The bees used to go out from their hive. They used to leave these chambers, they used to leave their hives and they went some other place. And then after, honey is collected by the honey collectors, and after that those honey is stored, and then after it comes to us. So this is the story of collecting honey from beehive. I think all of you well stood. So to collect honey from the beehive, first of all they used to make fire inside it, and after the effect of smoke and light of that fire, the bees used to go out. They left there, they used to leave their hive and they go somewhere else. Then after, the collectors used to take the beehive from there and they collect honey from it, and then the honey is stored in some place and then it comes to us. So this is the story of collecting honey from the beehive. So children, do you know one more fact I am going to share with you, and this is that a colony of bees in a hive has about 50,000 to 80,000 worker bees, and which collect nectar. So these worker bees used to collect nectar from the flowers. It also has a few hundred male bees, and they are called drones, D-R-O-N-E-S. Those male bees are called drones. There is, however, only one queen bee in a hive. Yes, there is, however, only one queen bee in a hive. So this is, do you know, also given in your book. Now children, let's go to the silk moth. That is also very useful insects for us. The next steps toward the useful insects is the next insect, that is silk moth. You can say silk worm also. Now silk moth, children, do you know different kind of fabrics like cotton, silk, linen, velvet? Means people used to wear, or people used to take many kinds of cloths, and cloths are made from different kind of fabrics. So in these fabrics, silk is the most favorite of all people. But from where does we got this silk? We get this silk from where? Yes, you will very surprised to know that we used to get this silk from this insect. This is called silk moth. This is called silk moth. Yes. Let me write it again. This is silk moth, which provide silk thread for us. So children, let's know the story behind it. This silk moth secretes a liquid, and this liquid which changes into a fine thread, and this also used to just weave a cover around its body, and this cover is known as cocoon. C-O-C-O-O-N, cocoon. C-O-C-O-O-N, cocoon. So a liquid is secreted from this silk moth, which it is like a thread, and this silk moth used to make a cover of that thread on its body, and this This is called cocoon. So these cocoons are collected and then thread is obtained from them. So this is the story behind the silk moth and silk thread, from which from this silk moth we used to get silk thread. Children, do you know about some other useful insects? First of all, please look one thing, that this silk moth used to live on mulberry trees because this mulberry leaves is very favorite of this silk moth. So this used to live on mulberry leaves. They also grow on mulberry leaves. So the mulberry leaf is drawn here. This is silk moth, and the leaf on which it used to grow and live, that is called mulberry leaves. So this is the story of silk moth, which provide us silk thread. Now the next insect is the lac insect. So children, this time I am not going to draw any picture here. Just I am writing the name of LAC, lac insect. This insect is also a very useful insect for us, and it used to grow on banyan tree. So banyan tree is the habitat of this lac insect. They secrete a semi-solid substance. This lac insect secretes a semi-solid substance, and that substance is known as lac. Let's know what is lac. So this is very new thing, I think, for you. Children, this lac is used for making paints and for varnishing, then printing ink also. Then it is also used for making bangles. Have you seen lac bangles? Ask to your mother about lac bangles. Some bangles are made with the help of lac, and beside those bangles, this lac is also used to make varnishes, paints, etc. So lac is a useful substance that is provided by this lac insects, which secretes a semi-liquid, semi-solid substance that is called lac. Do you know, children, one thing more I would like to tell you, that rearing or breeding of a honey bee for collection of honey is called apiculture, and while rearing of silkworms to collect silk, to get silk, is known as sericulture. So two things you must write in your copy, and it has been given in your book also, about the apiculture and about the sericulture. You have to write a short note on apiculture and sericulture. First of all, apiculture. Apiculture, what does it mean? It means rearing or breeding of honeybees. Rearing or breeding of honey bees for collection of honey. For collection of honey is called apiculture. Now one more, that is sericulture. That is sericulture. So what is this? Sericulture is related to silkworm, And rearing of silkworm for getting silk. That is rearing of silkworm to get silk is called sericulture. Sericulture. So children, you must copy it down. You know the difference between the apiculture, it is related to honeybee, and sericulture, it is related to the rearing of, yes, silkworm. Now one more useful insect is the ladybird beetle. Let's know about it. That is ladybird beetle. Ladybird beetle. So this is also a useful insect. How? Because it used to eat a large number of pests that are harmful for plants. So it is very useful for the survival of the plants because it used to eat the pest which used to harm the plants. So those plants which are cultivated in the farms, in the plains for crops, some pests used to harm them. And this ladybird beetle eats a large number of those pests. So in this way, this ladybird beetle is a useful insect for us. So today we all learned about the useful insects, and in our next class we will learn about the harmful insects. Thank you children.